We are Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.
Good afternoon. Welcome again to the news at noon for Thursday. The Federal Executive Council FEC approves $2.5 billion for development of Badagry Ports and others. Wanted social media celebrity Mumfa accuses the EFCC of blackmail and intimidation in reaction to wanted message. On the foreign scene, China launches ballistic missiles following Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan. There's also more in business, sports, and entertainment. We'll start first with the local scene. The Federal Executive Council, the FEC, this week approved $2.59 billion for the development of the Badagry Seaport under a private-public partnership arrangement. Transportation Minister Mwazu Sambu, who disclosed this while briefing reporters after the meeting yesterday, said the project is expected to provide about 200,000 jobs and generate about $53.6 billion revenue.
Of the concessionary period, the port reverts to the federal government of Nigeria through the Nigerian Ports Authority. Project cost as contained and approved in council based on the final business case stood at $2.59 billion. It is to be developed in 4 phases with milestones, and the concessionary period is 45 years. This is to further the government's goal of making Nigeria the maritime hub of the West and Central Africa sub-region.
The FCT Minister Mala Mohammed Bello, on his part, revealed that the FEC approved 2 contracts worth $2.68 billion for the acquisition of operating vehicles and a range of security equipment for the FCT's security services as part of steps to further secure people and property there.
In addition to that, Council also approved supply of various security gadgets and accessories to support security agents in the FCT. And the company providing these items is Messrs. E&S Technical Limited. The total sum of 847,139,764 naira 57 kobo, making the total of these 2 procurements the sum of 2,682,248,378 naira 52 kobo.
The Finance Minister, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed, in her remarks said Council approved a policy memo which defines the framework for the institutionalization of the practice of monitoring and evaluation, noting that this will improve the well-being of citizens and promote good governance.
How M&E should be conducted in the country, specify the institutional and financial arrangements, and the modalities for feedback, especially from citizens, so that decision makers can make effective use of evidence by government and stakeholders to inform policy, strategies, and investments. The Council approved the memo. This M&E policy was developed in close collaboration with the states, with development partners, with the academia, and several experts and associations of monitoring and evaluation in Nigeria.
The Nigerian government has defended the disbursement of $1.15 billion for the purchase of 10 SUVs for the Republic of Niger, explaining that the move is to enable the country safeguard its territory in the best interest of Nigeria's security. Speaking after yesterday's FEC meeting, Finance Minister Mrs. Zainab Ahmed declared that it is the prerogative of the president and not the first time Nigeria is supporting her neighbors.
Time that Nigeria has supported Niger, Cameroon, or Chad, and the president makes an assessment as to what is required based on the request of their president, and such requests are approved and the interventions are provided, is to enhance their capacity to protect their own territory as it relates to security also in Nigeria. Nigerians have a right to ask questions, but also the president has a responsibility to make an assessment of what is in the best interest of the country, and I cannot question that decision myself.
Finance Minister Mrs. Zainab Ahmed, the Transportation Minister Mwazu Sambu, reacting to the suspension of train services on the Lagos-Ajaokuta and Abuja routes over safety concerns, said it is better to suspend services which pose a possible threat to lives of citizens.
To suspend a service where there is imminent threat and clear that threat first, or where an incident had occurred, to investigate that incident rather than jeopardize the life of a single Nigerian. So if there is any suspension of rail services as of this morning, as soon as I go back to the office, I will find out why. But Nigerians should rest assured that it is better to suspend a service than subject Nigerians to any threat to their lives.
Minister of Transportation Mwazo Sambo. Police in the Federal Capital Territory have commenced raids on untended bushes and abandoned structures within the city centres and suburbs, while debunking reports about the existence of kidnappers' hideouts within the FCT. Police spokesperson Josephine Ade, in a statement, said residents will in the coming days witness heavy visibility policing. The raid comes barely 24 hours after the police promised to embark on intelligence gathering and intelligence-led raids, amongst other security measures. The Commander Operations Safe Haven, Major General Ibrahim Ali, says the military will remain neutral and fair to all in securing the nation. OPSH is a multitask force in charge of security of lives and properties in Plateau, Bauchi and parts of southern Kaduna. It was established in 2010 and comprises the Nigerian Army, Navy, Air Force, Police, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, as well as Department of State Security. The police component consists of the Mobile Police and a Special Investigations Bureau. Major General Ibrahim Ali, who's also the General Officer commanding 3 Division of the Nigerian Army, Rukuba, near Jos, made this known when he received a delegation from the Center for Humanitarian Dialogue when they paid him a visit yesterday in Jos. Away from that, former Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu will appear before the Central Criminal Court, United Kingdom, in continuation of his organ harvesting trial. Also to appear before the court today is the lawmaker's wife, Beatrice, and 51-year-old Obinna Obeta, said to have been arrested weeks ago on charges related to slavery and exploitation. The Nigerian senator may be remanded in custody till 2023, according to sources close to the courts. Ekweremadu, who represents Enugu West Senatorial District in the National Assembly, was arrested at the Heathrow Airport from Turkey back in June. He was in possession of a diplomatic passport with questions bordering on whether the case contravened the Vienna Convention and diplomatic immunity. Social media celebrity Ismael Mustapha, better known as Monfa, has reacted to being declared wanted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, just as he accused the agency of blackmail and intimidation. Reacting in a lengthy Instagram post this morning, Monfa had noted that the EFCC, via its lawyer Rotimi Oyedepo, used his absence to blackmail him. In the statement titled "Monfa Wanted by the EFCC, The True Story," Monfa had detailed the history of his arrest and arraignment by the EFCC from December last year. The businessman, who accused the EFCC's legal counsel of blackmailing him with trumped-up charges for selfish reasons, also raised alarm that entering a proposed plea bargain with the EFCC would mean he will be convicted for a crime he did not commit and therefore become an ex-convict. Monfa's absence in June stalled his alleged $6 billion money laundering trial before Justice Mojisola Dada of the Ikeja Special Offences Court. In a notice yesterday signed by its spokesperson Wilson Ewujare, the embattled social media celebrity was declared wanted for criminal offence by the EFCC. The Oyo State Police Command says it has handed over the 147 passengers who were intercepted by a motorcycle in Ibadan this week Tuesday to security operatives in Ogun State. The State Commissioner of Police, Adewale Williams, in a statement by the State Police Public Relations Officer, Adewale Oshifeso, said that the passengers who are aged between 12 and 30 years were profiled by police, Department of State Services, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense, as well as the Amoteco, while the truck was thoroughly searched before the handover. He said the passengers who were traveling from Zamfara State to Ogun State in a truck were found to be farmers and traders. He added items found on board the truck included motorcycles, bags of beans, and onions. And a 17-year-old student of Offa Grammar School, Offa local government area, Kwara State, identified as Adegoke Adeyemi, has reportedly committed suicide as a result of his failure to gain promotion to the next class in his school. Adegoke, who was found hanging on a tree, from a tree, according to police sources, decided to take his life owing to his failure to pass his promotional exams from SS1 to SS2. Sources said the senior secondary school student was asked to repeat the class, but was ashamed and hence decided to take his own life. The police public relations officer in Kwara Command, Okasomi Ajayi, had confirmed the development in a statement in Ilori last night. You're still listening to the news at noon on Lagos Talks 91.3. The Nigerian Bar Association, the NBA, says 2 of the 4 leading candidates in next year's presidential elections in the country have confirmed their availability to speak at the forthcoming annual General Conference of the association in Lagos this month. The 2022 NBA Annual General Conference will hold at the Echo Atlantic City in Lagos from the 19th of August till the 26th and will afford participants a rare opportunity to interact with the presidential candidates just 6 months ahead of Nigeria's general elections. And the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, and his counterpart, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, reportedly have both confirmed their availability and will be speaking in the panel session on the topic Democratic Transitions in 21st Century Nigeria 2023 and beyond. A press release by the NBA's Technical Committee on Conference Planning also said invites had been sent out to the other 2 candidates, Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the APC and Rabiu Musa Okwanso of the New Nigeria People's Party, but were yet to confirm their availability. The international scene now. Police in South Africa say more than 130 people have been arrested as part of an investigation into last week's gang rape at an abandoned mine in Gauteng province. A group of women were allegedly attacked while filming a music video in the incident. The previous figure given for the number held was just over 80. However, forensic evidence is still being checked and no rape charges have been brought yet. Most of those arrested have been appearing in court on immigration charges, having allegedly entered South Africa illegally from neighboring Lesotho. Elsewhere, China has begun live-fire military drills, its biggest ever in the region, in waters around Taiwan. It follows top U.S. Democrat Nancy Pelosi's controversial visit to Taipei, despite warnings from Beijing. China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi, at a meeting of Southeast Asian countries in Cambodia, defended the military drills and called Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan manic, irresponsible, and irrational. Taiwan is self-ruled, but China sees it as a breakaway province. The Chinese government had earlier threatened to eventually seize the island by force if other attempts at unification are unsuccessful. And I will touch on business where the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies, known as OPEC+, have agreed to raise global oil output by 100,000 barrels per day from the month of September in a bid to help ease high prices. The group disclosed this at the end of the 31st OPEC and non-OPEC ministerial meeting held yesterday, despite President Joe Biden's trip to Saudi Arabia last month to persuade OPEC's leaders to pump more to help rein in prices, boosted by rebounding demand and Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. OPEC Plus said it considered the dynamic and rapidly evolving oil market fundamentals necessitating continuous assessment of market conditions. And our sports, where Napoli owner and president Aurelio De Laurentiis says the Italian club will avoid signing any more African players unless they agree not to play in the Africa Cup of Nations. De Laurentiis said this as the timing of the Nations Cup, traditionally played in January and February, has led to repeated disputes with European clubs who are forced to release players in the middle of the season. Senegal defender Kalidou Koulibaly, now at Premier League side Chelsea, and Cameroon midfielder Andre Frank Zambo Anguissa missed 6 Napoli games while on international duty at this year's tournament. And still talking football, Chelsea have signed 18-year-old midfielder Carney Chukwuemeka from Aston Villa for £20 million. Chukwuemeka, who starred in England's Under-19 European Championship triumph in July, has agreed a 6-year deal. He was left out of Villa's pre-season tour to Australia after refusing to sign a new contract. Chukwuemeka, who made 12 appearances for Villa last season, was contracted until the end of the 2022-2023 campaign. And lastly, in entertainment news, the Actors Guild of Nigeria has confirmed the release of Nollywood actors Cynthia Okereke and Clemson Cornell, who were kidnapped while they were returning from a movie set in Enugu State last Friday. While it is unclear if any ransom was paid to secure their release, the Guild, in a statement on its official Instagram page yesterday, added that the movie stars were released unhurt and in healthy conditions. The national president of the Guild, Emeka Rollas, also expressed heartfelt appreciation to Nollywood Nigerians at large as well for their support and prayers. He urged members of the public to be security conscious on and off film sets and also take precautionary measures in their personal security at all times. The headlines again: FEC approves $2.5 billion for development of Badagry ports and others. Wanted social media celebrity Monfa accuses EFCC of blackmail and intimidation. And we told you on the foreign scene, China launches ballistic missiles following Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan. Thanks for listening. I'm Victor Njoku. Good afternoon.
We are Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.